We have fire. I think it's burning down pretty good now. Hello, Bill here with Pale Horse Survival and Tactical. Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm going to do a video that's been requested by quite a few people, and I did review videos. You can find those on the channel. In fact, I'll leave those in the description box below. Links to the videos. I did a review on the Benjamin XL1100 nitro piston. I did a video on the Benjamin 392 pneumatic pumper, both 22 caliber air rifles, and also the Crosman 1322 pneumatic carbine. I did not bring the carbine with me today, but I do have the Benjamin XL1100 nitro and the Benjamin 392 with me today. So I figure I'd just do a shooting comparison, do some casual target shooting today. Obviously not going to do another review, I've already done that, and just do some casual shooting today and just kind of compare accuracy and power, and you guys can listen to me ramble on about air rifles for a while, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. I have the two air rifles here in front of us. One at the top is the Benjamin XL1100 Nitro. Some of you will recognize that from the review video I did on it. And below that is the Benjamin 392 pneumatic pumper. Also, there was also a review done on that as well. And today I'm going to be shooting Crosman Premier hollow points. I think they're 14.2 or 14.3 grains. For some reason Crosman doesn't print that on the lid. So they're going to be eating the same ammo, and it's an established fact that Crosman firearms, they love Crosman ammunition, and it's always performed pretty well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up here, and I'll show you where the targets are. Stay tuned. Okay, so from where I'm sitting here, I'm going to be shooting slightly up a slope here. The woods are pretty thick out here, and this is the best little clearing here to do the target shooting in. I did come down a four-wheel drive trail. I'm not about to shoot down a trail, of course. That's just stupid, so I'll go ahead and see if you guys can see where the sun's just washing it out up there. There they are. There we go. I've got two cans. Sorry about that, guys, trying to get this thing dialed in. I have two cans there, and we'll go ahead and we'll use the one on the right for the Benjamin 392, and the one on the left will be for the Benjamin XL1100 Nitro. So I'm just going to take some pot shots at them and just do some casual target shooting, and then I've got the cans full of dirt to keep them upright. Otherwise I'll kill myself running up and down the hill trying to set cans up. So I don't think we're going to get any pass-throughs. I think the dirt's going to stop the pellets inside. So you never know. The XL1100's got a lot of power behind it. You never know. It may just punch through. But I walked off the distance. We're at about 40 yards, 35, 40 yards. The 40 yards is about the maximum effective range of the 392. The XL1100, you could push that out a ways further. So from about 37 yards roughly, give or take, I'll go ahead and get this cam set up and get the, I think I'll start out with the 392. Stay tuned, I'll be back. I put 7 pumps in it because I always store my pump guns with 1 pump in them to keep the dirt out of the seals. Boom. Thing hits like a hammer. It was a good shot. Nailed it. Can recoiled back. It recoiled back pretty good, actually. Stayed upright though because of the dirt. The way I pump this has a lot of, takes a lot of muscle to pump these, so I put it on my thigh, this part of the gun. And remember, 8 pumps maximum on the 392. It's nice to get out and do a little target shooting. I actually haven't shot these in about a year. Kind of overdue. Another hit. This one has a tendency to retain air, so every couple of rounds I'll dry fire it. There was a little bit in there. Not much, maybe. I think it's still breaking in. I really haven't shot this one much. When I first got it, I was shooting and I noticed it had started to retain air, and so I got in the habit every couple of shots I'd just cock it and dry fire it. It didn't seem like I was really getting anything out of there. That was just the hammer, the spring dropping the hammer. Ooh, this thing really hits hard. I'm going to go ahead and spin you guys around so you can, and zoom in. You guys can, instead of watching me, you can take a look at the target there. Stay tuned. Alright, I got you guys set up there. You can see the holes in the can, and it's rocked back laying against the tree. I'm really impressed. I really love the 392. It's absolutely my favorite. And as kids, we target shot with air rifles, and pneumatic pumpers. I guess I'm kind of partial to them. I like the XL1100 nitro, but I'll tell you, I grew up hunting everything from turkey down to squirrel with pneumatic pump guns as a kid, and I guess I'm just partial to them, and the simplicity of them makes them very durable and dependable in a long-term survival situation. All right, let's squeeze another one off here. Looking on the screen here, using the zoom as a spotting scope. Looks like I almost dropped that one into the same hole. I know it was a solid hit. And again, we're firing from about 35, 37 yards, somewhere around there. I walked off 40, but I was also stepping over pine cones, and there's a lot of wood deadfall under the pine needles there and ground debris. So I'm just gonna, to be fair, I'm gonna say it's 35 to 37, which is a good hunting range for an air rifle. Typically, if you're out hunting, your shots are going to be within 25 to 40 yards. It's not often you're going to have to go past 40 yards on a shot. Boom. Looked like I hit right in the dead center on that one. I mentioned this in a few of the review videos, but if I had one air rifle that I was going to grab on the way out the door in a bug out scenario, I would take my my 392. I just freaking love it. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's a pain in the ass pumping it. It really is. But if you're out hunting, you're not going to be out shooting 10, 15, 20 rounds a day. Target shooting is a different story. It's a workout. But if you shoot 10 pellets in a day at game, say you have a 50% miss ratio, you still scored 5 hits. Well, that's a lot of game to eat for one person, certainly for two. So it's not like you're going to be pumping the thing all day long. It's lightweight. It's all brass construction, the barrel and the pump tube, so there's no rust issues. About $150, $160 for one of these. I think I paid $158. Hits like a hammer. I recently had somebody comment on my 392 review video, and they weren't happy with their purchase. They were calling it a piece of crap, and said something about the reason why they didn't like it. The front sight was, they tried to adjust the front sight, which the front sight really isn't adjustable. You have iron sights on this, which is kind of rare for a lot of the air rifles being manufactured nowadays. They only come with a scope, and scopes break. Things can fail with them, and when that happens without iron sights, not gonna have a very good, gonna have a hard time aiming it. So this one has iron sights in it, mounted. So again, my opinion, just my personal opinion, I think it's an ideal air rifle for long-term survival. Pick yourself up a bottle of Pell Gun oil. And there's really not much else you have to do to it. Scope I'm using is just a Walmart Tasco. It's nothing. Carpenter ants down here trying to eat me alive. Yeah, the scope's just a kind of a, I mean, it's okay. Gets the job done. Really don't need much more scope for this type of rifle here. Oh, we're annihilating the can. If you can hit a can that size from this distance consistently, you'll be able to take game, no problem. Go ahead and shoot a few more rounds. Getting a workout here. I've always had good luck with these Crosman Premier pellets. You can get a 10 of these. Ammunition's cheap for these 22 cal. You're looking at about $6 for a 10 of 500 rounds. And 500 rounds will slide right down into a pocket. Get another 500 rounds, you got 1,000 rounds in a pocket. You won't even hardly know they're there, and 1,000 rounds is a lot of ammunition. My aim's starting to get a little wobbly now because of the pumping. It's a workout. I'm going to fire one more round out of this dude, and then we'll switch over to the XL1100. I have an old Marlin Model 25M, old bolt action 22 mag WMR. I've had since I was 16 years of age, and back in my day at age 16 I walked in 16, bought the gun, paid cash for it, $99, and walked out with it. That was many years ago, and we still had a certain degree of freedoms. Still have the gun, it's in perfect condition, and I'm going to do probably a review video on that. They don't make the 25M anymore. I don't think they made that maybe since the 80s. And but I'll do a shooting video on that too. Be nice to bring out a powder burner. We'll just rock that sucker right back against the tree there. Alright, I'm going to take a bit of a breather from 392. Put the lens caps back on, so a little bit of breeze starting to blow. You can probably hear the wind whispering in the pines out here, kind of roaring. I don't want the wind to kick any dust up on my lenses if I can help it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera again, and we'll go ahead and bust out the big dog here. See what kind of damage we can do to that other can. Stay tuned. I will be back. Got the Benjamin XL1100 nitro out here, and my biggest complaint with this gun, it's a brick. It probably weighs, oh God, this thing probably weighs 11 pounds. I'm not sure what the real weight is of it, but it's at least 10. It's a heavy gun. I wouldn't want to carry this around in a long-term survival situation. That little 392 carbine is very lightweight. I'd rather carry that. So go ahead and cock this thing. This requires a little bit different hold. These Springers and Nitros, Springers especially, this one's not quite as hold sensitive, but the artillery hold, where you just let the firearm, instead of gripping it in a traditional grip, you just kind of let it float on your palm. And this thing's got a recoil. This thing recoils quite a bit, which doesn't bother me. But it may surprise a lot of people that an air rifle would recoil like this. There's a lot of power here. I try to seat the pellets as far as I can down in there. Ooh. Just nailed that can. Laid it over, even with the dirt in it. This thing's got a lot of power. Bam! I'll go ahead and I'm going to reposition the camera so you guys can watch the downrange carnage here. Stay tuned. Alright guys, let me get this, sorry about that, trying to get this fine-tuned here. There we go. Yeah, it looks like we ripped it open pretty good on the side there. Let's put a little more hurt to it. Boom. Looks like I might have nailed that in the bottom. I see there's a big hole in the bottom. I've heard a lot of people complain about the center point scope that this rifle comes with, but I don't have any complaints with it. It holds 0. It's got good eye relief, very clear sight picture. In my opinion, I don't have any problems with it. I think it's a pretty decent scope for what you get. I think you know, it's kind of like the analogy of the bad mechanic who blames his tools. Boom, stood it back up. Good solid hits. I mean, you can hear the whack out here in the woods and it kind of echoes. The XL1100 here is quieter than the 392. You have a lot more, quite a bit more power, but 392 is no slacker for what you have there. It's definitely capable. I think you're looking at about 12 foot-pounds, 12 and a half foot-pounds of energy on average, depending on the weight of the pellet that you're using, and that's plenty enough to hunt with. I know the Brits, they have air guns capped at, I believe it's 12 foot-pounds over there, and they do a lot of air rifle hunting, so don't let anybody ever tell you that it's not going to take game. I took a lot of game as a kid with, are you ready for this? A Crossman 760 Pump Master. And oftentimes I didn't have money for pellets, so I was using BBs. And was it humane? No. Would I do it now? Not unless I had no other options. But as a kid, you don't really think about that. But they will keep food in your stomach if need be. Well, at this range, I haven't had a miss yet with either rifle. And I'm not going to make any claims as to being a marksman by any stretch of the imagination. I generally hit what I'm aiming at for the most part. My dad taught me to shoot when I was quite young, about 7, 8 years old, and He was a World War II veteran. Omaha Beach D-Day, so he taught me what he knew, how to shoot and handle a firearm and firearm safety and responsibility and all that. So lost Dad in 2003 at 80 years of age. Hell of a thing to lose a parent. Laid it over that time. Man, looks like that bottom just been tore open. Be interesting to see if we're getting any pass-throughs on that. Shoot a few more rounds and then take you guys down range and we'll inspect the damage. Well, that thing hits hard. I don't know if the camera's picking up that whack, but it kind of echoes through the woods here. God, it's beautiful out here. It's just unbelievably beautiful. Next year, I think I'm going to locate a good remote spot, and I'm going to construct a small trapper's cabin. I'll do a complete instructional video on how to do that. It's something I've always wanted to do, and complete with a raw mud and cobble chimney and hearth. Boom, stood it back up. Got it dancing down there. Stood it up and spun it a little. I don't think there's much dirt left in there. I think we've blown most of the dirt out. The XL definitely hits harder than the 392, obviously. It's just more gun, but a lot more power there. There's a dry seasonal creek bed back down the hill here behind me. I was down there when I first got up here. I haven't been, this is the first time I've been in this spot. I mean, this is my area. It's a huge area, but I found another trail and did a little exploring. Anyways, when I first got here, I like to recon my perimeter, so I checked out the area and I found down into the gully there's a dry creek bed, seasonal, and river cobbles and different things. And I found, walking along looking, I found some serpentine. So I grabbed a few pieces of serpentine stone. I do some rock collecting and stuff. I was kind of surprised to find it up here. Just walking along, looked down, and oh damn, that's serpentine staring back at me. Man, that thing, it hits with authority. Really rang that can that time. Yeah, I'll post in the description box below links to the review videos. one more, and we'll go down and see, go down there and take a peek at the destruction. Kind of like shooting fish in a rain barrel at this distance. All right, well, I'm going to pause this and take you guys down there, and we'll have a look at the carnage. Stay tuned. I'll be back. Get up here. Okay, let me spin this screen around here so I can see what I'm doing. This is the Benjamin 392. Not too bad of a grouping. I was starting to get a little wobbly from pumping. And spin that around. We do have some exit wounds. They look like they might have been hitting the dirt and traveling upwards. They're definitely bouncing around in there. I can see some indentations in the bottom here. Now, the Benjamin XL1100 nitro. Boy, oh boy. We definitely have some carnage here. Look at that. Bang. Just blew the bottom out of this thing. I mean, it's just tore up, and here's the backside. Even with dirt in there, we're getting some pass-throughs. I mean, that XL1100 is no joke. Pretty accurate. Not a real super tight grouping, but still on target. If you can hit a can-sized target from that far, you'll take game, no problem. But yeah, that thing just blew the bottom out of this can. Not too bad. Oh, here we go. They look like little holes until you push in the this is where I've got several in the same hole here. You can see I can stick my whole finger in there. Yeah, that's not too bad. I got a number of them in the same hole here. And then right out the backside. And I think that's it for the target shooting today. Yeah, this guy. Here we go. This will show you. This is the 392. This is a number in the same hole here. And this is a bunch in the same hole here. So, not too bad of a grouping, I guess. If I can hit game and drop them on the first shot, I'm satisfied with it. Well, there they are. I hope all of you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it today. Please like, subscribe, and share. I hope all of you are having an outstanding day or night, depending on where you're located, and I will see all of you very soon on the next one. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.